I first noticed my mother being very quiet in social situations. This is a woman who's quite outgoing, very much a hostess type, and so in any social circumstance she is always talking and discussing and very active, and I just noticed an increasing withdrawal from in social situations where she would sit for a couple of hours quiet, not having a conversation with people. So that concerned me, and then realized that she was having trouble articulating and perhaps following even.
The first time that I think that it came to my attention was about 3 or 4 years ago. We went to California for a visit. We went out to Disneyland, and I sent her to, on her own, over to a part of Disneyland, and she got lost. And I gave her some money, and she lost that too, which I remember. But
spend a lot of money.
that was one of the first times that I realized that I had to give her more attention.
So we proactively made an appointment. She didn't, but she is a very accommodating human being, you know, doesn't want to disrupt, probably knew that eventually she's going to be a big problem, so she doesn't want to. I don't know what was going through her mind, but she very willingly, went to the neurologist, did the test, was uncomfortable when she missed something, was nervous about taking the test. So she obviously was fully aware of what was going on. And this is a neurologist who, of course, doesn't talk to his patients if the patient is with someone else. He directed all of his comments, all of his conclusions, and all of his diagnosis to us, not her. So we didn't have the benefit of his having a conversation with her about it, or his asking her, do you know what I'm saying, or how does that feel, or what does it mean, or not with that passion, but it would have been nice, because it would have helped me. It would have modeled for me, how do I ask her about it, how do I talk to her about it. My mother was diagnosed some 3 years ago, and we have never had a conversation about her Alzheimer diagnosis. She's mentioned once when she was struggling for a word, perhaps 3 years ago, oh, you know, that brain thing I have, that's it. I don't know how to broach a conversation with her without scaring her. I know her husband has avoided it. In fact, he turned off the television whenever there was an Alzheimer's commercial. So he would absolutely not have a conversation with her about it. Because I asked him often, has she said anything? Has she talked about the diagnosis? Has she talked about her memory? Does she? Nothing.
It's hard to separate. I can understand why. Alzheimer's and normal memory problems, because all of us have such memory problems that we're aware of them every day. And if we started trying to evaluate whether that loss of memory or that loss of memory is more serious than another, it'd be difficult to do. And we
haven't had we haven't had a problem like that.
I can't think of it. See, my memory's bad. I think you told me that your mother had Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Yeah. Geri had used the phrase Alzheimer's only once, I think, and that was years after she died, gone.
Healthcare is a bim bam boom, thank you ma'am operation. I don't know. That's the way I deal with it, I think. So no, I don't have a relationship with my doctor where I felt I could sit down and take 15 minutes of her time to talk to her about my mother's Alzheimer's. Have I considered genetic testing for me to determine whether I am preset for Alzheimer's. No, I haven't. I didn't even really know that it was available, in fact. And which could, that's interesting. Because I was listening to my mother in the interview when you asked her about her Alzheimer's diagnosis, and her response, it crossed my mind that her response was complete denial. I mean, she didn't even deal with the word, right? And so I think that I probably take after her a little bit. I'm just, like I said, waiting for the other shoe to drop without educating myself, because I should know that there's a genetic test for Alzheimer's. My mother has it, for God's sake. Not so much to protect me, but I should know more about the disease if, you know, because it's a mystery what's going to happen to her and how it's going to unfold. And I have a feeling, this revelation about my grandmother that my stepfather spoke about, my grandmother having Alzheimer's, and that there was more of a problem than memory. So I don't know, was she swinging? Did she come into her Alzheimer's swinging? You know, was she abusive, violent? I never heard that, so I better go find out. I'm trying to be as prepared as possible, but I've never had children, so I'm not, you know, I don't know how to diaper. I don't know how to bathe, but I'm learning all that stuff. And it's a struggle sometimes, but it's also a gift. So yeah, they're happy, as long as they're happy. Yeah. And that's, you know, happy and healthy and not in pain.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything going my way.